How's it going? Welcome back to the vlog, up to another episode. We are talking about the 510 today. Specifically, something to go in this area right here. We've had the scoop, we've had the open scoop from the previous owner. Getting some nice fresh air, but everything is so tight up in here. Exhaust manifold downpipe, the screamer pipe is right there. All that hot air is going to be around this area. And one thing Aaron from TTR was telling me is that let's try and eliminate all the hot air going in. We don't want to introduce any knock, change the time in. So he put me to a task. He gave me his 3D scanner and he hooked it up to his computer and he's like, you know, have at it. You need to go ahead and get this done. I don't have time to work on this. So I was like, whining a little bit, but then I was like, okay, challenge accepted. Let's do this. So I grabbed the 3D scanner and it is a pain in the butt. You have to take your time, extremely slow, and you go through and you just read the areas and stuff. And I was working through the designs. First, I was going to do an enclosed box and then just have that fresh air inlet as the only inlet. But I was wondering that if that might be too restrictive. So then I remembered back in the day, they had the super intakes. I forget what you call it, from ARC, the nice beautiful aluminum boxes with the flat panel filter. I guess they flowed well until the heat soaked and then you were just like pulling in hot air. So I changed up the design and I went up with this secondary design, which is a full face mount. And you can see like this, the car's an old car, so there's big holes everywhere. Previous owners went ahead and they chopped up. So a lot of fresh air coming in this whole area. So that was another reason, going to a different direction and doing a, I guess, super style intake with a big open front mouth. I will get some either open or closed cell foam to actually go around the edge of the box, kind of seal it against the body. That's not very, it's perfectly squared. So then after all that planning, all that designing, pretty much I got like a cheap spool of plastic because I don't want to spend like $60 a roll of carbon fiber nylon or carbon fiber ABS and do my first print and come bring it to the car and then we have to change everything. That's a waste of money. So I went ahead, grabbed the cheapest roll of PLA I had and just printed out, which turns out to be this guy, blue. It was a little crappy blue. It was kind of cracking and stuff. So the design, we have our inlet part, our box that our filter fits in the front like the super induction filters. So it drops in, it has this curves to smooth the airflow out. The lid comes on the top, has two index pieces. They will have some heat inserts so I could bolt the lid down. I'll put some foam in between the top so it wouldn't pull any air from the back. A little stand to index it up, and then it's just going to float between the bottom stand and the inlet tube, which inlet tube is also indexed like you saw in the drawing. So give me a sec, let me try and orient these things and I'll be right back. So as you see here, nice inlet, hitting the filter already, big open mouth to the intake. I'm sure you can see down in there, but the stand fits very well, indexed by the two holes, contoured to the bottom. But we have one problem. In the scan, this corner here didn't really scan very well, so we do have an interference. And once again, we printed with cheap plastic so we can modify it and go back and make some revisions before we do the final print. Just like in here, when I was designing here, I designed the index to index the lid, and I've already had to make one revision. When I made these indexes, I made it this long, but when I designed the top of the filter mount and I pulled this top, I also pulled the indexes, which is too long. So I had to nip them off. So what I'll do, the part that's interfering here, I'm just gonna cut it with a cutter so we could continue mocking up and see what other edits I need to do. But the box fits well in this area. It's not too close to the radiator, so some air should come in, keep the box cool. It shouldn't warp or anything by that heat. The screamer pipe and everything's down there, so we probably will get some of that gold paper and put it on the inside here just to protect the box. But I don't think, I was wondering if I need to put another mount on this side here, but I shouldn't. The bottom stands pretty good. If it's indexed properly with the inlet, I think it should be nice and sound. Plastic grabbing. So I got a hold of a little cutoff wheel and I started making some enhancements. Enhancements. Damn, I need some lotion. Whew. Brown people problems. They're sitting in there real good. We also cut the post probably like 15 millimeters down. The box is in. It's lined up well. The inlet tubes line up well. The top lid, we're probably gonna raise the back end about 30 millimeters, just so it kind of like, it's kind of flat right now, just so it kind of flows a little better in the car. Also, we'll be able to clear here and probably cut this open, have a big, larger opening for the inlet. But it's kind of damn, I'm trying to sound like, you know, Cattywonker. Where you at? Kenny Wampus. Hanging on this guy too long. So it's sitting right. It's a little leaned to back a little bit, so I got to fix the post to remedy that. But we're now clearing the body here, chop that off. Just a few revisions again. I think I'll have to do a V2, do some more test prints once again, and come back up, test print it before we do it in carbon fiber, and it will be part of the car, part of the build.
Hey guys, how's it going? So we're just gonna jump in on the computer a little bit. I've been working on the design off and on here and there, but just thought it would be kind of cool to show you guys some of the process. We have a couple versions here. Started with the version 1. Let's get us reoriented. So we had the scan, like I said, did the cross sections, stuff like that, and I started building this box. This was version 1. I pretty much built off of the turbo inlet, had the box, and have this as the inlet from the headlight, because the headlight, we all know, is a screened scoop. But then I was thinking this tube also obviously was going to get cut. I don't think there you go, like that. So that was cut. That was a big old scoop, a big old inlet into the turbo. But I just felt for some reason that this might have been a restrictive, and then you have the filter inside here. So then I started modeling the second one, which is what you guys saw on the forum posts and Instagram posts. Which reminds me, if you guys not following my Instagram, follow my Instagram so you can stay up to date with stuff in between videos. So you see here, this was a kind of like a super intake. This is a filter. So this is more of like a super intake kind of big mouth filter. And then I kind of changed that up a little bit with version 3. So you see it kind of contoured a little bit. This is what you just saw that we were testing. So I didn't do that extended one. We did this side here, and then the filter would just drop in. So the inlet pipe would be like that, it'd be contoured, and then the filter would just drop in from the top like you've seen the pictures and stuff like that. That was cool, and we had some revisions, so I kind of went way bigger. So you can see here, that is the size of the old box. So So from the old box to new box, old box to new box. Close it out. So here is, let me clean up my tree a little bit. So I still have to cut the intersection of the tube and the box. Also, I've been working on this ball part here because when we turn the scan on, this is actually intersecting here with the actual light switch socket. So if you want, I could probably just do some drawing real quick while we're online. So what I need to do is intersect and cut pieces. Doesn't that look cool, guys? Seeing that filtered through there. We got version 2 in. As you said last time when I was drawing it up with you guys. Made the box wider, made it a little deeper. Clearance there works good. Made that attached to the box. So that will be a one piece, but it's printed separately. Just so it's easier to print and everything. But that's there. I may take down some distance here a little bit just to give a little give. The bottom is rotating good. The angle is great. But in the scan, I didn't see this harness wire coming here. So we had to do a little modification this morning. But all in all, version 2 is fitting well. The question is, am I brave enough to do the edits that we need from here and then spend like 50 bucks on a roll of carbon fiber infused? I don't know if I'm going nylon or carbon fiber ABS, but should I make one more test print to finalize everything, or just YOLO and blow 50 bucks and just do a final print? Would you keep it down over there? That's the intake project. That's where we're at right now. I think we're going to be very close. A few more changes and it should be done. This is pretty much field print after print after print. I have like a whole lot more in another trash can. It's like a spool of carbon fiber filament I've wasted here.
over and over, testing settings after settings. I think we're going to try one more spool, one more brand, and if not, I don't know what I will do in terms of material for this carbon fiber box. Well, this thing finally just printed. Got the whole box done in carbon fiber nylon, PA12 nylon. This is stuck on here. Oh my goodness. Ah, there we go. I got this weird artifact halfway. Let's see if we can break this off. There we go. Well, that's really cool. Let's check that out. It's strong, man. It feels strong. That's such a nice looking print too. Bit of supports. Break that off. Break those supports off. Gotta peel this brim. We use that to kind of help stick it onto the print bed. I'll have to use a deburring tool to kind of clean the edges up a little bit. That's not a problem. I have the turbo inlet. I will gotta sand down some of the interfacing points right here, and then it should slip in. Actually, it slipped right in. Talk about clearance, man. Talk about precision fit. So that's the box there. Filter is gonna fit in here. You're gonna have a lid. This is the outlet to the turbo. Turbo is gonna hold on, and like I said, this is carbon fiber nylon. This softens, not melts. It gets softened at 140 degrees Celsius. That's hot. What is up, guys? Welcome to my messy office. The next process is being able to assemble the parts. We have here the bottom stand that goes into the... It goes into two spots on the inner fender well that has two mounting holes. So these two holes recess in there, scan the area. So this fits in nicely there. I've already preheated and pre-sunk two of these heat sets. And what these heat sets are, they're these little grubby brass fittings that you use a soldering iron to heat it and push it into the plastic. And as it cools, it goes ahead and it melts and it locks in place. And that way I can lock the box to the stand, and then with these M5 screws, then I can lock the lid to the super suction box. Let's go ahead and let me show you. I do have an undersized bit. Once again, this is the box. It came out super awesome. Carbon fiber nylon, super strong. Got an awesome finish. The problem is that it has the high melting point and this bit's undersized, so I don't have enough surface area to touch the brass nub. You can see the size difference, especially on the side here. Crap, that's hot. Over here. Face out of the way. There you go. So you can see the size difference there. So you're trying to superheat this, and we also have to get it embedded pretty flat. Rotate this so it'll be on the top camera so you can see it a little bit. So I might just do a few on camera, and then the rest of them I might have to just finish off camera. Normally the smaller M3 sizes, which the bit is for, goes in relatively quickly. This though, this is taking some time. I even have my soldering gun cranked up. A solder normally at 720 right now is set at 880, just to pump out a lot of heat. We're gonna kind of put it in kind of flat-ish. We gotta kind of fudge it because there's an angle there. So see now that heat cert's in. That's an M5 heat cert. So pretty much we gotta go through and we gotta do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more times. Oh, ooh, hot. Yeah, I really need to get a proper M5 bit for this. It'll be much faster because the surface area will touch the heat cert and it'll be able to heat up that big old brass fitting a whole lot faster. So get that in this can here so you can kind of see. We're heating and pressing it into the carbon fiber nylon. So when we put the lid down, we'll screw it. And how I designed the model, I did not design the model for the screws to go in parallel to the layer. I designed it vertically. So I need to heat set these inserts vertically, not according to the angle of the box lid. That's it. Okay, that seems vertical, okay. Put this down, and let this cool a bit. And like say, I'm hiding the actual top lid for this mock-up one. You see it's cut up and stuff. But pretty much, we're gonna go in here, and we're gonna take our M5 screw. And there's print supports. So welcome back, camera down a little bit. So we have our screw in here, also measured. So it screws in the box, it screws in the other hole. It's designed to drop the filter down, and the entire fresh air is coming into this super suction mouth with the filter, and this side going on the turbo. So that's pretty cool. Well guys, I should drop something.
So we're here with this guy, working on the 509. It's getting closer.
Finally, well, this part, the actual intake project's done. I still haven't put on the final cover yet because that's a reveal. It's so cool. There's a test cover, got the inserts on. I do have to split apart the intake tube from the box in order to get it back into the car. So bear with me a little bit. Let me take this off, get it in the car, and then we'll be back.
Wow.
Okay, you can do that.
Cool 64 Impala. LS swap. Vintage air.
Dude, I need some vintage air.
I guess I'm older to come blow on you.
I do need something in the friggin' Zito, man.
So cool. This car is clean.
So I got the lid off. You can see the brass inserts here. They're all locked in. It's pretty cool. Looks really nice. Once again, this is a solid piece. But right now, just offer it up. Let me take this part off. box in. Get that back on. Then we gotta put the couplers on. And then put the cover on. But anyway, to get the couplers and everything, so be back with that. Those heat inserts worked out way better than expected. Big problem though is this coupler is long like John Holmes, I guess. Way longer. I needed something a lot shorter to bridge just this amount. So right now it's pushing the box excessively to the corner. It's off camera. It was a pain in the butt to get this on. I had to get the filter off because I had no height to slide it on. But it covers so well. There's no gap there. Here it's open. Intake, fresh intake. And the pièce de résistance, guys, is I did a color print and I branded the lid. Look at that. That is sick as hell. Look at that stuff. Did a color print and everything. The top is ABS. All these pieces are ABS, colored ABS. Nylon doesn't really come colored. ABS has a decent softening temperature, but the box being on top and cold air coming in, I don't think I'll have an issue with it. But look at that. Look how sick that is. I'm so tickled pink about this. I posted it on my Patreon. I showed you guys a little teaser preview of it. But when I took it off the printer, I flipped it over because you got to print it face down. It just looks so damn good. The edges, everything's so crisp. I haven't done a one-layer print like this before. This is new. We've been doing multi-layer prints for the longest while in 3D printing. But recently, with newer slices and stuff, you could do flat layer printing like this. It's really awesome. Look at it again. It is pretty decently far from the wastegate. So it might be okay. I'm still gonna get the flashing material just to cover the box because it's a small engine bay. The turbo, everything is right here. But overall, that's pretty sick. That's pretty cool. I am so tickled pink. I finally used my hobby to create a functional part for my car, for my project car. That is so awesome. Like I said, the whole intake box encompasses this area here, the inlet. You can see the stand underneath here. So the box is, the box is right here. So right where my finger is, that's the bottom of the box to the top of the box. This whole area here is just getting fresh air, and that fresh air is getting fed into the turbo. So don't worry about knocking. We could turn that timing up as much as we can, get all the fresh air we want. In a couple weeks, it'll be dyno time, and we will actually test this box and see if it's worth it. How much horsepower it's rubbing from, let's say, an open turbo with a turbo guard. Let me go ahead now, open the box back up. Let's put the filter in. Let me show you how the box fits internally on the car. Remove this coupler because I'm gonna have to order a shorter one. Got the lid open so you can see how the box fits on the inside. I showed you the front. So here's the inside, the box inside. It goes around that light connector. There is the fresh air intake. Everything is close. I have some air conditioning, closed cell foam to put on this face of the box. I also have a well-thin gasket to put on the top here to seal there. Decent amount of flow in the back. Clearance clearing the fender and all the other parts. Coupler will hold this nice in place. Lid slips down on there. That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool. That's the intake project. A long time in the making. Oh my goodness. Went through a lot of headache reconfiguring the printer to print this nylon. But it looks beautiful. The print is finished. and wrangling that big coupler out, we were squeezing and moving the heck out of that printed parts. Didn't even hear a crack, didn't hear nothing. Very strong. Super happy with the adhesion on the layers. I'm really happy too that I made the intake, the circle intake portion, removable. So if you like this video, go ahead, drop a like, drop a follow, drop a sub, hit a share. Let me know what you think about this. I'm super ecstatic I was able to 3D print my own part. Using my hobby in another hobby that I never think I would be able to do or try, making automotive parts. That's so cool. That's just cool. So if you like shit like that, go ahead, hit that like and sub. And until next time, guys, y'all take it easy.